Hello everyone. It's our time to discuss about the useful topic of mathematics, that is mathematical logic. That's very important part of the undergraduate syllabus. So this is included as skill enhancement course. So basically in this first video we will discuss about the basics of mathematical logic. What is logic? Basically in a language, grammar is the most important thing. So similarly in mathematics, logical precision has the same importance. So every development of mathematics makes use of logic. So how can we write any mathematical expression? That's very important. That's why we need the knowledge of logic. So any orderly arrangement of the content of mathematics would exhibit logical connections. So logic is used in organizing scientific knowledge and as a tool of reasoning and argumentation in daily life. So that's very important. So being a great philosopher, Aristotle first found few simple patterns in human reasoning. But after that, famous mathematician Leibniz tried to incorporate some calculation in reasoning. But around 19th century, we have got many famous pioneers in these subjects. For example, Cantor, Dedicant, Bolzano, Boole, Peano, who have done extensive work to give the proper idea of logic. And after that, through set theory, symbolic notation and logical operators, Hilbert, Gödel, Church, Klein, Turing, Jensen and many more changed the scenario of mathematics, and as a result, nowadays we can classify the mathematical logic into four categories. First one is model theory, second is computability, third is set theory, and fourth one is proof theory. Up to the 10th standard or 12th standard, we are familiar with set theory, but in undergraduate level we have to know the other three parts of logic. So how can we define logic formally? So logic is the systematic study. So systematic study of which? Systematic study of valid rules of inference. That means the relations that lead to acceptance of one proposition, that means the conclusion, on the basis of some pre-assumptions, that means they are called premises. So depending on premises we will give some conclusion. That is the main idea of logic, and the word logic is derived from the Greek word logics. Now what is proposition? Basically a proposition is the main meaning of the sentence. So the proposition is a declarative sentence conveying a clear cut meaning. That means there is no ambiguity, which may be either true or false, but not both simultaneously. That means that sentence must have some clear conclusion, either true or false. So declarative sentence express propositions, while interrogative sentence ask question, and similarly imperative sentence express comments. But incomplete sentence, quotations, questions and exclamations are not propositions. For example, if we consider two sentences 5 less than 3 and 3 greater than 5, both express the same proposition but both are false. While on the other hand, if we consider the sentence Saurav Ganguly is famous captain, that's also a proposition which is true. And similarly, if we consider another proposition, another statement, the sun rises in the west, that is also a proposition because we are getting some conclusion that may be false, but it's a proposition. Now logically, we are much more concerned about the form rather than the content of argument. For example, all men are mortal and Socrates is a man. So ultimately, we will give this conclusion that so Socrates is mortal. That means we are much more concerned about the form of argument. So what is equivalent statements? For example, every man is mortal and all men are mortal. These are equivalent. And similarly, what is existence statement? That means which asserts the existence of something but not all. For example, there is a man who is 9 feet tall. That means this sentence asserts the existence of some person but not applicable for all. And what is vacuously true? Suppose every man with 6 legs is intelligent. We don't know whether it is true or false because we don't know the existence of such man. That's why this is vacuously true. Now, what is negation? Negation of a proposition is another statement which will be opposite to the original one in terms of truth value. That means the conclusion will be the opposite of the original one. So, like variable quantities in algebra, logical statements are denoted by lowercase alphabets. For example, P, Q, R, S, so on. So, negation of P will be symbolized as not Q or P prime, whatever. So, for example, P is the logical statement which states mathematics is interesting subject. So, its negation will be that one. It's not the case that mathematics is an interesting subject, or in other words, we can say that mathematics is not interesting at all. And for second example, suppose Q express the statement every man is mortal. So its negation will be there is an immortal man. So in case of negation, it's enough to show that the statement does not hold for at least one situation at all. Now we have to know the basics of connectives. So first one is conjunction. What is conjunction? The resulting proposition is called conjunction when two original statements are joined together by the term and. So according to logic, and or conjunction is denoted as the operator this symbol. Suppose P gives the statement Ram is strong and Q gives the statement Sham is weak. Then the conjunction will be P and Q, which will imply that Ram is strong and Sham is weak. So this is conjunction. That means we are joining two simple propositions by the conjunction that is and. And what is disjunction? In case of disjunction, the resultant proposition will be formed by the term or. Suppose P is a statement which tells us that Netaji is Indian and Q is another statement which tells us Netaji is great leader. Then the disjunctive form will be such one that either Netaji is Indian or Netaji is great leader. So that means in case of conjunction we are treating and in case of disjunction we are treating or. That is the basic difference between these two connectives. So we know the computation of truth table. So this is the truth table for negative form. That means there will be two column. First column will give the choice of P, that means the original one, and second column will give the choice of negative P, that means negation of P. So in the first column there are two values 0 and 1, and simultaneously in the second column there will be two values 1 and 0, because when P is true then negation of P will be false, and when P is false then negation of P will be true. That's why 0 and 1, 1 and 0.